They walk into a room and the air shifts. Not because they're loud, but because they fill every silence before it has a chance to breathe. They talk and talk and talk, and somewhere behind their eyes, they know it. They feel the room pulling away, but they can't stop. This isn't about being extroverted. This is about something deeper, something most people never see. People who talk too much are often running from the one thing they fear most, being truly seen. Because if they control the conversation, they control the narrative. If they keep speaking, you never get the chance to ask the questions they're terrified to answer. Watch them closely. They're not just talking at you, they're building a wall of words. Every story, every tangent, every interruption is a brick, and behind that wall is a version of themselves they don't want you to meet. Maybe it's the insecure one, the lonely one, the one who believes that silence means rejection. Here's what's happening in their brain. They've learned, usually in childhood, that their value is tied to their performance. They learned that being interesting, entertaining, or helpful kept them safe, kept them loved, kept them from being forgotten. So talking became survival. And now, even when they're safe, the pattern runs on autopilot. But there's a cost, and they feel it every single day. After every conversation, there's a moment, a quiet, sinking moment where they replay everything they said. They feel the cringe, the embarrassment, the awareness that they did it again. They talked too much. They saw the glazed look in your eyes. They noticed when you stopped responding, and the shame washes over them like a wave. But here's the paradox. That shame doesn't stop the behavior. It fuels it. Because now they feel even more anxious, even more desperate to be liked, even more convinced that they need to prove their worth. So the next time, they talk even more. The cycle tightens. Underneath the excessive talking is often a deep, unspoken loneliness. They talk because they're afraid of being alone with themselves, afraid of the silence inside their own mind, afraid that if they stop performing, you'll see that they're not enough, that they're boring, that they're disposable. And here's the part that breaks your heart when you understand it. They're not trying to dominate you. They're trying to connect with you. They just never learned how. They never learned that connection happens in the pauses, in the listening, in the space between words where two people actually meet. So when you encounter someone who talks too much, remember this. They're not selfish, they're scared. They're not rude, they're protecting themselves the only way they know how. And beneath all those words is someone desperate to be heard, but terrified that if they stop talking, you'll stop caring. The psychology of people who talk too much isn't about volume. It's about fear. Fear of silence, fear of intimacy, fear of being forgotten. And until they learn that they are enough without the performance, the talking will continue. Because the cruelest irony is this: the more they talk, the less they're actually heard. The wall they build to protect themselves is the same wall that keeps real connection out. And somewhere deep down, they know it. They feel it. But breaking that pattern requires facing the silence they've spent their whole life running from. And that silence, it's the hardest conversation they'll ever have. If this video resonated with you, you're not alone. Drop a comment and let me know, do you recognize this pattern in yourself or someone close to you? And if you found this helpful, share it with someone who might need to hear it. Sometimes understanding is the first step toward change.